Part 2. Okay, I split it up into 2 parts simply because they're both like 12 minutes. And so I didn't want to try and upload a 24-minute video because that would take my lifetime. And I don't have that kind of time. So I split it up because now it'll upload much quicker. Okay, so this side, we are doing equations. We are solving equations. And a lot of these are 1-step, and then some of these are 2-step. Now, when you solve equations, you have your railroad tracks, circle the variable, opposite operation. Okay? Now, if this is a -6, the opposite is to add 6. Those are going to give you a 0, and you're going to be left with your variable. Okay, you're always going to be left with your variable. And now you have -21 plus 6, so -15. And that's your answer. 15. Railroad track, circle your variable. This is a -7. Opposite operation is to add 7. Those give you a 0 and leave you with x equals -8 plus 7 is going to be a -1. I can do that one in my head. 16 equals -4y. Here, remember, if it's directly connected, you have to circle the whole thing. And we talked about this before, but remember, inside the circle is multiply or divide. Outside the circle is add or subtract. So if you notice, these ones are outside, so you're adding or subtracting. This one's inside. Okay, inside is multiply or divide. Outside is adding or subtracting. So this is being multiplied, so you have to divide by -4. If you notice, it doesn't matter what side it's on. Okay, it really doesn't, because those are still going to cancel, and 16 divided by -4 is -4. Okay, and then I personally would write it y equals -4. I would just rewrite it the correct way. But if you circled that answer, definitely give it to you. Railroad track, circle the whole variable. Now remember, if it's inside, you're multiplying or dividing. In this case, this is a division problem. You're dividing by -2. So the opposite is to multiply by -2. Do not forget that negative goes with the number. It just makes it easier. Those cancel and leave you with n equals -7 times -2 is +14. Now we're getting into 2-step equations. Okay, 18, railroad track, circle your variable. Get rid of the outside of the circle first. Think about order of operations. In order of operations, that's the PIM does, or parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, or subtract. What do you do first? Parentheses, done. Exponents, done. Okay, now you're going to, oh, that's not a good example. Because you would multiply or divide, but we're not going to do that first. We're going to minus the 3 first. I guess everyone gives bad examples in their life. That was definitely a bad example. Okay, you get rid of the outside the circle first. Those cancel and give you a 0, and you're left with 4x equals -9 plus -3 is -9, 10, 11, 12, -12. Oh, this is easy now. Now you just divide by 4. X equals -3. Do me a favor and do not try and plug this in your calculator. I can't tell you how many times. Well, I plugged in my calculator and this is the answer it gave me. Okay, your calculator cannot do variables. I know you can make it say X or N, but that doesn't do variables the way we do them. Here, railroad tracks, circle your variable. Doesn't matter what side it's on. You have a -2, get rid of anything outside that circle first. Add 2. Those give you a 0 and you're left with 5x equals -17 plus 2 is -15. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. x is equal to -3. 20. Railroad track. Circle your variable. Get rid of that +6 by minusing 6. Zeroed out. This is going to be x over -5 equals 6, 7, 8, -8. Times by -5. Those cancel. And x ends up giving you 40. 21. I'm trying to hurry because the bell's going to ring soon. Not the bell's going to ring, but kids will start getting here. +4, u minus 4, gives you a 0 and leaves you with x over 6 equals -9. Times by 6, times by 6, those cancel. And if you have -9 times 6, it's going to give you a -54. Okay, now you have 4 problems where you are writing the equation. Okay, when you're writing the equation, you're going to have a ton of these on your test. I think you have 3 or 4 of them on your test. Some are writing 1-step and some are writing 2-step. Okay, it's important that you know how to write equations because you're going to see them a lot on end of levels. Okay, on 22, it says the temperature is -4. A high pressure front increases the temperature to 8 degrees. By how many degrees did the temperature increase? So it's going to be -4, and it increases by some number. Let's say it's D, by some degree to equal 8. So now you're trying to solve for what D is. Write your equation first, and then you can solve it. Okay? Opposite of -4 is to add 4. So D is going to equal 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it increases by 12 degrees. 23. The monthly dues for a premium membership at a health club is $15 more than the cost of a standard membership. The premium membership is $40 per month. What is the cost of a standard one? Okay, so first of all, you know it has to equal $40 per month for a premium membership. And a premium membership is $15 more than that. Okay, so it's going to be $15 greater. It's going to be $15 greater than the standard. So let's call it an S. So S plus 15 is going to equal 40. Okay, because we know that the premium membership is $40 and that's $15 more than the standard. And so now you can just minus 15 to both sides, and you know that a standard membership is going to be $25. But like I said, if you just had 12 degrees or $25, I'm going to mark it wrong. Okay, that's not good enough. I need to see the equation. That's half the problem. 24. A pack, I need a drink. A pack of cardinal flower seeds costs $4, and a pack of petunia flower seeds costs $2.50. You buy the same number of pack of each type of flower and spend a total of $39. How many packs of each do you buy? Okay, well, you know it's going to be okay, I've been trying to think of how to set up an equation for this one. And on this one, I mostly just did guess and check. So I'm going to keep trying to think of an equation for it. Maybe one of you can come up with one. But my guess and check worked pretty good. And so what I did is I know that 2.5 times x and 4 times x those two added together has to equal 39. Okay? And so now you're trying to figure out what x is. And because 39 is a whole number, I knew that this had to be a whole number. And so it has to be times by an even. So I figured out that x is going to equal 6. But that's because I had to multiply these both by 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, all the way till I got to 6. I was like, oh, that works. Okay? So now, 25. An egg carton holds 12 eggs. A breakfast buffet uses 96 eggs by 8 o'clock a.m. When the buffet ends at 10:30 p.m., a total of 156 eggs were used. How many cartons of eggs were used after 8 a.m.? Okay? First of all, if this is how many eggs are being used, remember that's not your carton. And it wants to know cartons. So first we're going to be solving for eggs, because that's what the numbers have, and then we'll put it into cartons. Okay, so with eggs, if a total of 156 were used, okay, that 156 cannot count the 96. Okay, because it wants to know how many are used after 8 a.m. So 156 minus 96, that's how many are going to be used after, and that's 60. But that's 60 eggs. Pretty easy to figure that out. It wants to know how many cartons. So then you have to divide that by 12, which is 5 cartons. That one's not too bad. Okay, and so that is where we're going to stop, and that's the second half. So now you're good.